So here's today's problem, is with some of my surround cameras, and if I go and have a look at them, you'll see I've got this one flashing and this one off. So I have tried to look at the module, disconnect the power supply in the module, but can't seem to be able to get this one to work. I do have a fault code, I'll put that on the screen now, and that's the fault code we've got, and the diagnostics will say it's basically to replace the camera, which are extortionate. So I'm going to try and take the camera out, maybe clean up the contacts, have a look, see if there's something wrong. In order to get the camera out on this side, I need to remove the bumper. So I'm in the middle of doing that, and I'll show you how to remove the bumper to have a look at this camera. So what we've done so far is we've removed the front grille, which is basically held on by a couple of clips at the top, and on the top here we've got 4 nuts. These are 8mm nuts, that size, and we're about to remove the inner wheel arch. So removing the inner wheel arch, you'll see there's a screw here which I've already taken out. There's one down there, and up the top there are a couple of clips here and here, and there's one right down here. So we take them off, done the other side, and we'll take it from there. So that's us got all the clips off the inner mudguard, and what we need to do now is to take off this small mud flap here. So there are a number of clips on here, and we'll take that off, then we'll take the inner mudguard off. Shut up, Archie, shut up. So in here, believe it or not, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fasteners on this. We've got a couple of screws on that are very, very tight. That one's tight. So these ones are plastic. They normally should screw. As you'll see, they don't. So I'll need to find another way, try and get these off. Sweet screwdriver. That's one. Two. Probably an easier way to do it. This fella should come off. There's the wee clips there. So that part there is holding on the inner mud flap. So we now need to take the inner mud flap out. So that's hopefully got everything off. That allows us to be nice and slack, and technically this should just pull off like so. And I'll try and get in here on the camera. So this is our intercooler, and what we need to do is to disconnect these 2 pipes from our washer bottle, because they are connected to the bumper, which will be the screen, the headlamp washers. And there's also a screw, let's try it, I think that's it, up here, that's screwed on next to the headlamp. I think it's just a barb fitting that's on here as far as I've read. Pretty tight. go. So that's just dribbling there. So this will drain out from your washer bottle. Because it's quite a small hose, it'll probably take a wee bit of time to do that. And we'll try and disconnect the other one. There we go. So that's the two disconnected. The other two hoses. One of the wee barbs are still in there. Same again, we've got the other intercooler. Now we will need to disconnect this electrical connection here, because that's on the bumper, and there, up here, is our other screw we need to take out, and that's all that's holding the bumper on. So electrical connections and both screws at both ends. So these should go with the bumper. Now the next scary bit is popping this off. So these just pop straight in here. I'm hoping I don't break it too much. I think I'll get the plastic device for that. Get another wee quick pop. Plastic in that, so you can see that just slots in here. Pop that off, and we shall do the same the other side. So I'm just going to grab that, pop it, and pop that off there. The last thing we've got to do is to take this cover off here, and there's a number of screws in that, then the bumper should come off. Just take it under here, and there are a couple of screws under here, and I think that's us about ready to take the bumper off. So this is where the towing eye is, and there's 4 of these Torx along the length of it. So we're going to take them off and see how that goes. Have the bumper off. Let me see if I can see the camera. I think that's the camera there. So that's the right hand camera, and I assume that's the one we're having the problem with. So I'm going to lift this up, send me bending down and take that out. There's the connections we took off there. That's your left hand near side headlamp washer there. So let's get this up and get these cameras off. You can now see, and I do believe these cameras are interchangeable, so it's the same camera. This looks like a different connector there. So I'd like to take this off. I'm assuming that they just pull out. Oh, pull out. These look like 2 wee clips. Imagine it just. There we have. There's the camera. Looks a bit crusty. So there's the pins, if I can get that in the centre of the camera. So it looks like 6 pin. There's a kind of a QR code on it, and that. And it does look as if there's a wee bit of dampness in that camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change over to the right hand camera. I'll swap the cameras about, then I'll try and plug this in manually and test the cameras to see if it is this actual camera. It's not working. Sit and look to that side. There we go. So, same camera. It's obviously looks, that one actually looks as if it's got more condensation than the other one. Nearly £400 these cameras are each. So if I can't get it fixed, then I think I'll just have to do without it or try and source a second hand one. But there's the left camera we've got the problem, and this is the right camera that's working. So I'm going to swap them around, try and move the bumper into position, connect it electrically, then see if the cameras are working. What I will do though is I will clean this up. I think I might give them a wee spray of electrical connector. The connector itself looks pretty okay. Maybe just dirty more than anything else. And I'll clean these two cameras. That's the right one, that's the left one. There you go folks, 800 quid for that, for the two cameras. And that's just 2 of 5. Tack spray. So I've just placed the bumper on. I've connected my connections, so it's just sitting there. I shall see what it says. Okay. There you go. So this one's definitely not working, so it's switched from that side to that side. So camera goosed. So I think I'll take this off again. I'll soak that in rice overnight and see if that takes any moisture out of that. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to be able to fix that. What I have done in the past is I went into the module and powered it off and disconnected all the cables, and it come back on again. So we'll have tried that. What I'll maybe do is clear the trouble code. That's what I'll do. So, faults, continue, camera. So these faults have appeared. I think it was this one here, front left camera system internal failure, internal electronic failure. These ones have obviously taken off by taking off the bumper and cameras. So we'll try and clear the codes. So I don't have any camera faults, so that fault's gone. So I shall try again. Yeah, I still have. Now look at this. This is a rear camera flashing, that one's not, but that one's still off. So I've swapped him round Now, I do believe you have to calibrate these cameras once you put them back on, so I will stick that camera in a bowl of ice, let it sit overnight, see if I can absorb any moisture out the camera, and we will fit that tomorrow. So here we are, next day. We've soaked the camera in rice all night. I've test fitted them in the car and still doesn't work. So nothing else to lose, so I'm going to try and take the back off it, maybe do it again with rice in there to get some penetration in there to remove some of the moisture that appears here. So this is a T6 by 50, and hopefully we can move these. With a bit of luck I might not be able to do that. Certainly moved that one. Tiny wee screws. Not that I'm expecting to be able to fix anything in here, but I've nothing to lose. So we've got 3 out of the 4 so far. This one doesn't seem to want to come. So I've managed to put a wee slot in this one. It's managed to work its way loose. Looks okay inside. There's a wee, looks like a rubber gasket there. I don't want to take that off in case I tear it. The connectors look okay. Wee bit rust round the edges. Wee bit rust in here. The connectors pins look fine. So that part looks alright. You can see a wee bit of crustiness here, just with the screws around, so maybe dampness is getting in through these parts. There is another tiny wee screw or screws under here, looks like 3 of them. 3. Yeah, looks like 3. I'll try my T6 again. So I'm assuming this will allow it to come out the body. And there's one more just on this side. I feel like a watchmaker here. But the camera's not working, so I'm not going to lose anything if it doesn't work. Just in the hope that we can maybe extract some moisture out it. And the gasket off it. And there's the processor. So put that there. And the actual camera, I think that's just the lens in there. I don't think that moves. That's obviously the camera here. So again, I think I'll look at that. I don't know if whether you can see that. All that crustiness in there. So maybe that's the source of the leak of condensation in through that join there. It's knackered the camera. So I will put these components again in rice overnight and see how we go. And you can see here the crustiness. I don't know where that's focusing on the camera body itself. So right in there, you can see that here, and there's some in this contact here. There's a wee bit on the bottom, so I will soak it again, the 3 parts of it, and try and spray it again to clean it. So we'll put this other camera back in here. We've left this one and I've taped that up because I'm going to put the bumper back on because I need to use the car. It does go in here, but I'll tape it here out the road, just keep it out of the weather. And we'll give it a few days. We'll bring the other camera out and plug it in there. Failing that, we've kind of lost the battle with that one. But I shall then put this one back in and reconnect the bumper. So that's us got the bumper all back on. We're now ready to go in and test the camera after the camera been sitting in rice for the whole weekend. But I'm not holding out much hope, to be honest with you. So we'll test it. Cameras. Nah, it doesn't work, so looks like a new camera. The one thing I did note is when the camera, this faulty camera, is in the left side, you will see this one flashing. And you'll notice previously in the video, when we changed the 2 cameras over, or swapped them in the bumper, the failing camera was on this side and the rear view, the tailgate camera, was flashing. And you'll see, if I do that again, you'll see this bottom right one having a wee flash, then it comes on. It was the opposite of there. So that's where we are now. It looks like we need to replace the camera. I don't really fancy paying up to about 400 quid for a camera. However, I will search for a second-hand one or a bargain somewhere. And if we do get that camera, I will remove the bumper again, because we're experts now at removing the bumper from this L405. We'll stick the new camera in, and fingers crossed that will work. So this one, guys, is a bit of a failure. We never managed to fix this one. It's beat us, but we can't really fix that electronic thing. If anybody knows how to fix that electronic camera, it looks like dry soldering joints due to ingress of condensation. It's broken the seal. I have done a bit of research on that, and I've seen a couple of cameras with a similar problem where the moisture seems to be getting into the camera. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any comments or any feedback, please let us know, and please hit that like button, that's really helpful. And we'll catch you on the next time at Ravie's Garage. Cheers for now.